But what I'm saying here now is if people want to buy a black canvas, collector wants to spend a lot of money on a black canvas, the artist wants to do black canvases, the critic wants to say that's art, fine. You go ahead and do that. You spend the rest of your life painting black canvases. You spend the rest of your life collecting and spending money on black canvases. You spend your career as a critic defending black canvases. And that'll be this com art. Go ahead and do that if you want. But the rest of us, the real artists, the true artists, we're going to go for this one, the true art. You can do that, spend your money, whatever it is, but we're betting on this. This is what's going to carry us up into the orbit of the true artist. This is not going to carry you anywhere. This is going to go as long as there's these three people, these three factors are here, and as soon as one of those critic dies off, collectors lose their money, the artist loses his ability to come up with stupid ideas, they'll just drop off. This is where we're going to put our time and energy here. Who would want to spend their life, devote their life to art to paint black canvases? If you want to stare at a black canvas or something black, just paint a piece of black square on your wall. You don't need an artist to do that. Anybody can do that. That's what you want to spend your life doing. You see what kind of shape art is in? I'm just using black canvas for an example, but there's hundreds of examples of the artist, the critic, and the collector turning something into com art and making the poor aficionado think that that's all there is to art, and they fill up the museums with that stuff. This is not going to change until true art overtakes them just by sheer numbers. When true art starts to move forward and people realize how they've been duped and how they've been pulled into this money scheme down here, and figure out their museums are full of this junk rather than the true art, they're going to rebel. They're going to say, we want true art. We want something where we know the artist, we know the subject, and that's what we want to do. That's what we want to see, true art. You see? All this abstract stuff down here might be fine for the New York City intellectuals to sit around and talk about that stuff and write books about it. But that's just a fleeting thing. Believe me, it's not going to last. It's only going to last as long as there's somebody pushing that. One of these three things is pushing it. Either a collector because he's got his money tied up in that, or an artist because he has his life tied up in that, or a critic because he has a reputation tied up in that. That's the only reason they're going to push for that. That's why they can't look outside of that and look up here and see what a true artist is doing. They can't look outside of that because it's going to break their cycle. They won't have their com art. Nobody's going to pay. Nobody's going to listen to this critic if he's not talking about the stuff that he knows the artist is doing and so on, which he calls an artist who's just fooling around because they ain't got anything else to do. So don't get caught up in this thing. Think about what I've said here. Find out what you want to do. You want to be a com art? Go ahead. Fine. There's plenty of room for you out there. Good luck. You want to be a true artist, dedicate yourself to art. Come back next week and we'll keep talking about this. This is where you're going to find out about it because we're going to talk about it. I'm going to spend the rest of this year talking about it. Be here every week. So if you're interested, come back. And we'll talk about it and you'll learn something about true artists, and at the end of the year maybe you'll be a true artist or on your way, or at least aficionado, and you won't be so duped, and you'll find out there's something elevating about art, something that hits in your soul and your heart and makes you feel good and makes the world the level of culture rises in a culture, and we won't have so many wars and so many killings and so many people that, you know, can solve a lot of things for people. So come back next week, send me an email, go to my website.